Hello and welcome back to the Azure DevOps course. In this lesson, we'll start creating an Azure App Service slot for staging environment and making another stage in the release pipeline so we can deploy in the production and the staging environment. So, what is Azure App Service slot? Azure App Service slots is used to deploy to different environments in your app service plan. So, now we have the main environment, which is the production environment. If we want to make an environment for the staging, we can use Azure App Service slot. So to make app service slot, we'll go for deployments slots, and click add a slot. We'll give it a name, staging. Leave the name as staging. Now our staging slot has been created. So we can deploy to the staging or the production. We have the main slot, which is the production slot. We can also deploy to the staging environment. So let's edit the release pipeline and add a new stage for the staging environment. I will edit now the app service release and add a new stage. STG for staging. Now I want the production stage to depend on the staging stage. So the production will be deployed after the staging environment be deployed. We can make it like this. Click on the pre-deployment condition and pick the trigger being after a stage and select staging stage. So now the production will be deployed after the staging environment be deployed. And we still have to configure the staging environment task. Click here, use the Azure subscription, app service name, shopping front end, choose the agent. And for the app service, now we have to click here to deploy to slot or app service environment. Choose the resource group and now choose the staging slot. So we deploy to the staging environment. And that's the package folder, that's the artifact folder. Choose it as our folder. And that's all. We can now save and start making a release to deploy on staging environment and on production environment. Create release. Create. Now release 2 has been created. The staging has finished, and after the staging deployment has finished, the production is triggered. So the production deployment is based on the staging deployment. Now the both of them has finished. We can now test the staging slot. We can go here and choose the staging slot and click on the link here. This is the staging environment link. Click on it. It worked. So everything is working now. There is another thing I want to mention also. In multi-stage environments, when you have a staging and production environments, you can pause the deployment to production waiting for approval from the administrator. So we wait for someone who has an administration permissions. So he is the only one who can approve the deployment to production, and he will approve the deployment to production after we have done the testing on the staging environment. Azure DevOps releases give you the feature of pausing the deployment to a specific stage until an approval has been given. We can do that by editing the release here, editing the release pipeline, and clicking on pre-deployment condition for production. We have here pre-deployment approvals. There will be a user who can approve the deployment to this stage. I will give my name as the approver, and that's all. We can save. Now the deployment to production will be paused until Muhammad Osama, which is me, approves the deployment to production. In real-world environments, we can do this step, so we can do the testing on staging environment first, then accept the deployment to production when everything on staging is running without any problems. So we can try now the pre-deployment approval by making another release, create release 3. I will pause until staging deployment finished. Now, after the deployment to the staging environment is finished, the production now is paused and pending approval. It will not be deployed until I click on approve or cancel the deployment. So it will be paused until I approve. So I will approve now. Click on approve. Approve. Now it's approved. So the production deployment will be triggered and run now. And now the deployment to production has succeeded. So that's all for this lecture. We discussed using multiple stages and discussed pre-deployment approvals and using app service slots. In the next lecture, we will discuss using variable groups and linking it with the stages and using the replacement token task. We will discuss everything in the next lecture. See you in the next lecture.